I'm shorting on my gold, but the price keeps on going up. 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 The price keeps on going up.
Oh man, can that not be more true than ever? The biggest pump in this year, and I'm shorting, and the price keeps going up. What's going on? I closed my shorts, by the way. I'm okay, but Kermit, what's going on, man? How are you doing? How's your week been?
Been all right so far. Coaching sucked today, but that's all right. Can't be good all the time. And yeah, I mean, it's just another day at this point.
Yeah, how are you playing the markets?
I just, I don't know, like more just like taking what they give to me at this point. I'm not staying in things for very long because anything can happen. Essentially, is what it comes down to, in my opinion. Like one tweet from somebody, boom, things take off in the opposite direction of what I'm trying to do. So, I'm not messing around too much with trades in terms of like, oh, let me hold on to this one, because it could be the second I put a trade in, anybody can tweet, freaking things go sideways. Like, and by sideways, I mean like downhill. Like it's just one of those deals. So, or uphill, whatever. It's like, oh, now we're extending the ceasefire. Oh, we're not going to talk anymore. Oh, but maybe we talk here. Maybe we talk. Like it's just, dude. It's I've honestly I've just had about it. I've pretty much had it with governments of any country. Because I'm just at this point, I'm like, man, you guys don't know your asses from a hole in the ground, and yeah, like, like I know there's a reason for it to an extent, but they really suck at it, and maybe that's just my opinion. Some people think they're just the most amazing thing ever, but I am not in that camp. How are you doing?
Oh man, you're so right though. Like, let's just talk about it. Like anybody tweet, let's talk about it, right? We're talking about Donny Boy, right? I mean, Donny Boy sent his emissaries over to Pakistan, and they were stood up. It looks like they don't want to say it, but like they basically negotiated a ceasefire with the Pakistanis, dude. I'm like, what? Okay, but in all fairness, I do think that the blockade is working.
Yeah.
So whatever, but how long are we going to be doing this for? Is it worth our taxpayer dollars? If you're in the United States, probably not. Is it good for the economy? Maybe.
It's hard to sit there and say, I've heard differing opinions on a lot of stuff, and that's just the issue. It's like I try to find decent news sources on X. I don't watch mainstream news at all. Like I don't even pay any attention to it because it's just like there's no use. There's no point. It's like, oh, let me, it's just like I'm just not going to waste my time. So it's like, all right, I try to find the people who talk about things that would really matter, and it's just like, dude, we have about a bajillion different issues here. But the funny thing is it's just like, people complain about it. It's like, why aren't we doing this or why aren't we doing that? And it's like, we got to take care of stuff here. And it's just like, we try to take care of stuff here, but then it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, some random judge from somewhere is like, that's illegal. And it's just like, what? Like, you're just like, huh? Like, what? Every 2 seconds, something's illegal. Like, it's every single day. It's like, well, you can't, like, for example, one of the recent things is, we gave Haitians temporary protected status back like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, but they're still here. So at that point, they were just like, we're ending the temporary protected status. And then they're like, well, you can't do that. Like, you can't send them back there. And it's just like, well, what are you talking about? Like, this whole thing is supposed to be temporary. And then they try to make it permanent and all this, dude. It's just like, my effing goodness gracious. It's like, dude, it's just a never ending garbage dump of a show. And I'm just like, just, I want to go, people aren't like my age, your age, were just like, man, there was just like, I just want to go back to the 80s and the 90s. That's when things were better. That's when things seemed better. We whatever. And then, people are like, oh, we live in a time right now where there's no better time than now to make money and do awesome stuff. But it's just like we're bombarded with the same BS, and it's the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm just like, oh my goodness gracious. I was like, there was nothing wrong to begin with, and then it's all of a sudden somebody's like, yeah, this is wrong. Something's wrong here. It's like, no, there wasn't anything wrong. And it's just like, well, it was wrong because it wasn't the most fair thing on the planet or something to that effect. And I'm just like, you know, I'll tell you what's not fair, and that's just the laws of nature at this point. Like, if it were me and you and everybody else in the space, we just get dumped into the wilderness. Do you think the wilderness cares at all about any of the stuff that we care about? No,
No.
no, they don't. And it's just like, dude, it's like, I don't get, dude. It's My mind just gets blown every day. It's one of those things. Like, I need to like I go outside. Thankfully I'm not sitting at the computer like looking at this stuff all day long and whatnot. But I still get bombarded enough that I'm just like, man, I just need to just turn off everything, do what I'm supposed to do, and just I don't know, get the f out. That's just at this point, just get the f out. Be like, I'm out. See ya. You guys have a nice life. Good luck with everything.
Yeah, bro.
Anyways,
Yeah.
sorry, that was my
It's all
rant. That
good.
was my rant.
Dude, man. So yeah, dude, make sure you guys are liking, reposting, tag some friends. I just copied I don't know why X does this. Like, the space that I schedule, and then when I start the space is a whole different thread. So I have to copy all over the stuff you know, to this. So anyway, if you can Hermit, if you could post it up on the bulletin board. Oh, there you go. You're already on it. Yeah, man, we were going to talk about portfolio management and airdrops. And man, I was just thinking the other day, I was like, man, what are we going to do about the next topic? And so, as the topic is Bear Earns, I don't know if you guys know who Bear Stearns was, right? Bear Stearns was is a bank, a United States bank that just went under in 2008 with this whole housing crisis. They were heavy in mortgage-backed securities, and of course, when they failed, J.P. Morgan got to go buy them up. And we've seen a couple bank runs. We've seen some bank closures. Not lately though. I think they lowered the interest rates just enough. We have the Fed meeting coming up, and they're probably gonna, kick the can down the road on the interest rates. It's probably gonna be 0%. So EAC, not much to bet on there, but in the prediction market. But it's like 3 months in a row. But so when are they gonna either raise them or cut them? And it's like what we were talking about. It's all this stuff in the Middle East. Is this oil going to go up? And oil's gone down. All the thing is, like, what is happening in the Middle East doesn't really affect us. That's the funny part. It's just greedy ass, gas stations that want to charge more money because they can. Even in Texas, it went up, but it's down now. We're like $3 and something, so it's fine. California is still paying like $6 a gallon. We're in half. So, but yeah, how this affects crypto is just the market. If now that we have tokenized securities and commodities, people are trading, oil. I'm staying out of that. I could have shorted it, but why? It's not that much of a hedge. But what I was thinking about was, man, what's the most important is portfolio management. Obviously, Bear Stearns had no portfolio management. They were all heavily invested in one thing, mortgage-backed securities. And everybody thought mortgage-backed securities at the time was, golden, and there was never going to be, anything else. And that's kind of like what you could say that kind of about Bitcoin. And I love the Bitcoin maxi. I love Bitcoin. It's the OG of crypto, but it's not perfect, right? Like, we've been starting to see this, pullback. And look, I know about Fibonacci's and all this other stuff. I know Bitcoin's going to go back up, but if you're solely just making money on Bitcoin, you're broke right now, because it's not going up. So that's why, I leverage trade. I short Bitcoin. In fact, I didn't get much of the short, but I longed them at 62,400. I rode that up to 75.5. I closed it because I was already at 350% with 20x leverage. I'm good, and now today now that I sold and I have all my eggs in one basket, I don't have any trades. I'm looking at my portfolio and I'm saying, is this the best situation for the bear market? Because and I posted it down below, right? If you load like all your wallets into Coin Market Cap, they have AI now, right? And I'm going to talk about Bitcoin later on the AI too, but you load up all your crypto, and then you can literally ask the Coin Market Cap's AI, hey, is my portfolio balanced? Should I buy more of one thing or buy more of another thing? And that's what this is. It says your portfolio is Bitcoin heavy, with a large stablecoin buffer and concentrated bets in a few ecosystem tokens, right? So I'm going to talk about that, right? I got, I'm a big fan of Captain B&B. I'm a B&B ecosystem guy, so I have money on Captain B&B and Aster. I've really, it's funny, it says Crow sizable. I've sold a lot of Crow before all this stuff happened, but it picked it up, So anyhow, I'm my portfolio, over half of it, right, is in Bitcoin and BNB and Ethereum, Solana, even some XRP. Fuck it, and Cardano, a lot of the top 10, top 100 major coins, right? Why? Because you know what? They're not getting wrecked like some of these meme coins that are down like 90%, right? I'm only going with my conviction bags, and that is pretty much Captain B&B. And since, it dumped recently, I've dollar cost averaged in. That's why I'm redoing my portfolio. Is that, like, can I take some of this that's just, it's dog shit, it's never going to come back, right? Like, sorry, if Cardano fans, like, Cardano's not going to come back. I have Midnight, right? Oh, we got Sal up here. But maybe I should get rid of my Cardano, or maybe I should get rid of my XRP and buy some more shit coins, right? Now that they're at the bottom, because when the bull market comes back, my portfolio is going to look pretty damn sweet. I'm so excited when the bull market's coming back, because I'm looking at all the things I've invested in and saying, oh, this is a definite winner. This is going to definitely, do good, and that's what we should be looking at. So, like, that's why the topic is portfolio management. A lot of people don't know portfolio management. And when we're going to get into leverage trading later on, you got to know portfolio management, especially when you leverage trade. All right. Because you can get liquidated. And so if we had that, good understanding, then we'll find. So I don't know if EAC is recording this on Rumble. I don't record because I don't like what's going on in X. You know, I paid for my blue check mark again for the year, but I was like begrudgingly doing it. I know a lot of people feel the same way I do. You know, I'm looking for another social DeFi that's actually good, that people like Clubhouse or something that we can go over to. Maybe they'll build it in the bear, right? Build a Bear was our first episode name. So yeah. And then, so yeah, that's where my portfolio is today. I told everybody I stabled up about 25%. That's why it says, you know, you have about a quarter sits in USDT. I stabled up. I started stabling up in August because I knew that we might be pulling back. So I needed some dry powder to buy these dips, you know, and we're going to talk about the bottom tonight. Where is the Bitcoin bottom? I've given you guys my bear market projection for 2026. Okay. And then I even asked AI, and if you guys go to the second one up top, I asked Grok, take a look at these two charts. And if you click on that link, you could actually see the conversation. You could actually continue the conversation yourself and ask, because I'm not wrong. You know, well, it doesn't look like I'm wrong by the AI. It looks exactly what I'm saying is going to happen. The liquidation zones are perfect. They're exactly where the Elliott wave, which I've been talking about, is lined up. 85 top, 50 bottom. Simple. Okay, so it'll take a year to play out. So, you know, let's see what happens. So far, I've been right. We've been going up, you know. So when we get to the leverage trading, I'm going to talk about how I'm going to be longing and then switching over to shorts. But Hermit, what do you think? What do you think about my portfolio? What do you think about, you know, I showed you this ahead of time. What do you think about what Grok said? It's pretty dead on what I'm saying it is.
Well, I will tell you, you know, it's like, oh, it's Bitcoin heavy. I think you want to be Bitcoin heavy more than not. That's just my opinion. You know, when it comes to having crypto, like I've told my buddies any of them who've asked me, which isn't very many. They're like, well, what do I get? You know, because they want to ask. They all ask a bunch of questions. What should I get? What should I get? And I'm just like, dude, for you, I'm just like, just buy some Bitcoin, some Solana. You can buy some Ethereum if you want to, but you know, I was just like, I go heavy on Bitcoin, and then I just like focus on like your top 10 tokens. Like that's it. Like I wouldn't, you know, go much past that. You know, and that's honestly for the majority of people out there, that's what they need. Like they, you know, they don't need to necessarily jump into like everything right off the bat, you know, where it's like, you know, it's just going down a rabbit hole. Dude, you get lost. You get lost in a real quick, and especially if you're just not like, you know, all if you're sitting here on X and you got people going, oh, you should get this, oh, get this shitter 9,000 token or whatever, and you're just like, oh, okay, cool, you know. But yeah, the majority of anybody's portfolio obviously just needs to be something that they're gonna want to hold. Um, you can have your degen part of your portfolio, but that's like the smallest. It should be the smallest part of it. So, like, and always, you know, it's like people. It's like always have stables. Always have some dry powder so you can buy something that you want. You know, and it's like, you know, people are like, "Oh, I can't buy the dip. I'm out of dry powder." Well, do you have an actual job or something? Or like, do you have money that you make like kind of outside of crypto, or like how is that working out for people? Like sometimes I find that that's where people have messed up, is that they just don't have, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to explain without being a complete asshole, but it's just like sometimes if it's like to me, there's nothing wrong with having a job outside of crypto or anything else like that. So it's like if you can make your money doing other stuff and then you buy crypto with it, awesome. Because again, like I said, the majority of people do not want to be in crypto full time. Like they just don't. Like you just buy your tokens, buy the ones that you like. Like EAC wants to buy Polygon, he should buy Polygon, um, and just go from there at that point. So I don't know. That's how I think about most of that stuff.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about how to invest in the meme coins, and how to play that. That's the part of the dry powder. The smaller, it's going to be the smaller percentage of your portfolio, and you might be in and out, but this is a bear market, so it's not up only. So if you're buying meme coins, you're buying those ones that are going to run. Those are even if they're pump a dumps. That's the degen play, And in the bear market, I'm going to say this: there's a lot of gems that stand out over all the other BS. It's all the noise is gone from the bull market. All the, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. Now, when someone say buy this, we're like, let me see, and you can do more research on that. You don't have to get it right away. We have a bear market. There's no volume. So like you got time. But anyway, Sal's on stage. Sal, how are you? How's your week?
What's going on? I'm good, thank you. My week's been good, I guess. Not really doing much. Well, I mean, I am, but I'm not. You know what I mean?
That's the bear market. Yeah, I get it. That's that's why we're doing these spaces every week. What are we doing week to week? I'm not doing them every day, right, Hermit? We're not fucking doing this every day. Like once a week is actually a lot for me, But yeah, I know you've been hosting spaces,
Yeah, I have on the weekends. Once in a while during the week, I guess I might, but it's mainly been on Friday and definitely Saturdays. But like late night,
Yeah, the degen hour.
Yeah. Well, like 10 o'clock. You usually go till like, I don't know, depends. Sometimes 2, sometimes 3.
Right. Yeah, you're on the East Coast. Yeah, I'm here in Texas. But yeah, no, like it's nice though. I enjoy your spaces. I enjoy our community. I mean, our community, Sal, it's like we've been through a bear market, right? Like
Yes.
it's such a that's why the first episode was called Bear Market Vibes. I've embraced the bear market. All the fucking noise is gone. Crypto Twitter is down to a fifth of what it used to be. All the fucking plebs, noobs are all gone. All the scammers are gone because, well, not all of them, but the majority of them, because there's no money to scam anybody. It's like they're like, what the fuck? Maybe make $100 on a fucking bullshit token.
That's very true. But there's always gonna be scammers around. But yeah, I get what you're saying. Most people are gone. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, they all got drained. I mean, we all got drained. For the most part, most of us did. I don't even have a fucking portfolio at this point.
Well, I mean, this is the time to start.
Well,
because
I gotta live first. You know what I mean? So I don't have the extra funds to be doing that right now.
Yeah, so like your portfolio is maybe a shit coin that like gets a good run, in fact, I got an NFT. It was like 300 ape coins. It's like 2,000 ape coins. An ape coin, by the way, is like 10 cents, But I fuck it, It's part of my portfolio now. I got ape coin on my portfolio. Ape coin was like $15 at one time, and now it's 10 cents. You know what I mean? It was 8 cents a little bit ago. Yeah. That's up 20% from what I started buying.
Sorry.
No, what were you saying?
I was just saying, yeah, I think ApeCoin will go back up.
Yeah, and it's 8 cents, I talked about this already, but with staking and my buddy's has a decentralized pretty much casino. It just you play games on it. I've been playing blackjack because that's what I used to do when I lived in Vegas. And they had this really cool feature. You could take your ape coin and bet on the house, and the house has the 2% edge, right? So you could just sit your money in there. And, you know, I checked it the other day. It was up like 8% because people are degenerates, you know, they're going to gamble during this time. They're going to lose money on this site. And I'm just like, I'm making money on my buddy's site. You know, he lets you bet on the house. It's kind of like when you bet on do not pass in craps and everybody fucking hates you. But this is not like that, you know?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Sorry, I'm trying to, I'm just I'm making a game right now, and it's stressing me out.
Oh, you're vibe coding. You're one of those vibe coders. See, that's the way to make money, right?
Yeah, push it. I don't push anything out though. I don't know. I'm an idiot.
Not an idiot. Not an idiot. You're just not pushing something out, and you probably should push something out just to see what happens, because there's no harm in pushing something out and just being like, "Hey, I just did this. Check it out."
Yeah.
Anyways, that was my pep talk, even though it wasn't much of a pep talk.
Thank you.
See, that's why he's my voice of reason, Sal.
I mean, and I'll just say this for anybody, like just if you're gonna do something, just do it. Like, just do it and see what happens. And sometimes it's gonna suck. Yeah, I get it. It does suck sometimes, but like, if you don't do it, then guess what? You're still in the same spot that you started. So, you know, at least you can just sit there and it's like, oh, I just did this. Oh, I just did this. Oh, I just did this. Okay, I did this. Oh, I did that. Find something that might be a pain point for people. It doesn't even have to be in crypto. It could just be anything at this point, and just be like, all right, go do, like, I'm going to try to vibe code this and see what happens. Boom, done. That's it. Again, it's like, you know, I have to take my own advice. Don't get me wrong. I have to do that myself. But it's just like, if you don't do it, is your circumstance going to change in any way, shape, or form? No. I'm still going to be sitting in my chair, you know, staring at a wall or staring at my phone or staring at a computer screen. That's it. But if I build something, I throw it out there, somebody's like, "Oh yeah, this is actually pretty good. Cool. You know, thanks for this." Cool, you got one person, you know, it's like, all right, you get some traction and you keep moving along with stuff. So, you know, anyways.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I just, yeah, I just got to do it, and I will. um, I've made a lot of shit that probably a lot of people could use, and I don't know. Sucks, I just don't do it.
Are you driving right now? I think
No,
your phone's on
that's my
live session.
dishwasher.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Sorry.
I was like, what's that? It's all good. But yeah, I was like, just don't drive and get in an accident. I'd be heartbroken if you did. But anyway, yeah. So like, look, I was talking about my portfolio. You know, I stabled up 25% of it, right? Bitcoin, everything's down. You know, I was probably at the worst. I was like 30% down on my portfolio, but I had 25% in stables, right? Everything else was 30% down. So, you know, what I did was, you know, I used that dry powder. I bought, you know, I started trading. I actually like the bear market. Short money is easy money, you know. Actually been making more money on longs, like I told you guys earlier. And you know, this late as I was putting more money into Bitcoin, buying these dips, you know, BNB, we've had this little relief pump. And as of right now, I'm only 9% down, right? So I was like, heck yeah. Because if I'm 9% down, when all this stuff returns back to like all-time highs, I bet you my portfolio is gonna like double or triple. You know, maybe I'm just a freaking, you know, Dululu degen, but you know, if I'm only 9% down from the all-time highs after we've dumped so far, I'm doing the right thing. You know, I'm making sure that I am invested in the right things and that they're going to start to recover. And you know, the big things aren't going to move very up. That's why you have Bitcoin. That's why I have majority of my portfolio is Bitcoin, right? It's not going to move a whole lot, you know, and I can always DCA. I know when it turns into a bull market, it's going to move, right? From the last bear market to the all-time high, it 5x'd, you know? So the majority of my money is going to be, that's why I say my portfolio is probably going to triple. Sorry, I'm like drink some fizzy drink. I'm burping right now. But yeah, so that's where I'm at right now. And I think it's just going to get better and better. And look, that's what we would call bear earns, right? Like, you know, Bear Stearns might have been gone, but like I'm in Bear Earns now, you know, and I'm gonna just start, you know, stacking sats, right? Just building my portfolio back up slowly. And one way to do that, and I don't know if Hermit, you want to talk about the airdrops, but I'll kind of lead into that, is airdrops are free. You know, there's literally with airdrops, it's zero investment. Okay, maybe your time. But when that hits your portfolio, right? Like it, like the gambling stuff I was doing, right? That literally, I made that money, I put it back in my portfolio, and my portfolio jumped like $1,000, right? And it's like, you know, I go up and, you know, more percentages, and it's like that is the best return on your investment is these airdrops or ways to get something for free, because it's literally, you don't have anything invested, you're not down. So
I don't even know any places that do airdrops anymore for free.
well, the thing is with airdrops, right? It is a bear market, so we're not going to have like the kind of Jupe airdrops and the Magic Eden airdrops and things like that. But there's airdrops for just transacting on their ecosystem, you know, that you're doing anyway. You know, there's like websites you can go to. I think even CoinMarketCap has, you know, an airdrop place. I was gonna let Hermit cover it because I'm not doing them currently, but that is an option for people. And we're talking about what we're gonna do in the bear market. And I wanted to cover airdrops, but I didn't want a whole space to be talking about airdrops. But the reason I'm bundling this in with portfolio management is that's how you build a portfolio. In fact, EAC is building his $10 to $100 campaign, and the way he's doing that is through airdrops, right? And then you could, you know, use that to trade with or use that to make money, you know. So anyway, Hermit, you want to talk about the airdrops? I see you unmuting.
All right, so here's since this is what my stream is about most of the time, and I talk about the same airdrops every single day. First one I do is Creecoin. You can just buy a little bit of Creecoin. You don't have to go ape shit on it. You can buy a little bit. You have like a week and a half left for this next airdrop, and then just start liking like every single post that mentions Creecoin. Like just like everything. Like it, comment on it, raid things, whatever. Because they'll be checking like whatever. I mean, get in their Discord. You have to join their little community. There's like 3 steps. Hold Creecoin. Again, it doesn't. You can hold one token, which is less than a penny, and that, you know, you do that. You join their little X community. They really don't. I haven't made a post on their X community because I keep forgetting to add X community to it. It's Creecoin Crew. And then you get into the Discord. The point of the Discord is just when they do the airdrop form, there's going to be a form you have to fill out. It's like a Google form. So you don't have to connect your wallet to anything like that. You just basically are going to raid all their social media stuff. And it's basically just liking. They got YouTube, they got a TikTok, they got the X account, they have an Instagram account. So you can rate all of that stuff. They have a Reddit like subreddit thing. You can just like through all those things. And yeah, so there's that one. That's the one I do a lot with. And then for they have one like this one could be big. It's called bulk trade, BULK, bulk trade. And it's right now it's on testnet. So they give you the testnet funds like testnet USDC. And I've just been like making trades every day. That's kind of what I've been doing with the bulk trade thing. And like I said, right now it's free. You'd be early. Mind you, you're not going to get anything probably until towards the end of the year, is my guess. So it's just one of those things where you have to just make a conscious effort to make trades on it. And if you find something wrong, you go into their Discord. If you like to spam Discord stuff and quote unquote vibe and be helpful in a Discord, you can do that. You can probably get a role, like an OG role or something like that for them. Then EAC, you can do EAC. You can do a liquidity pool with EAC and Polygon. So the EAC token and Polygon, you can do that. He does an airdrop every 2 weeks. So that takes, obviously, I think that could be part of the portfolio management type stuff is like if you are bullish on a token, don't put all your token into a liquidity pool, but it's like if it's BNB, USDT or whatever, you just put it into an LP and let it do its thing. You get fees and all that stuff and adjust as necessary. But again, don't put your whole entire portfolio of whatever token you have into it just because hacks happen. So yeah, so there's that. You can do the same thing with like Meteora. I'm trying to think, what else do I have? I mean, I'm doing Solstice Finance, so that one's happening. Their first airdrop is probably going to be about another week and a half. I just put money into an LP with USX and USDC. I did that, but then I did Exponent Finance. Like, there's a lot of things you can do in that regard. Yes, those ones do take money, but it's more of like the USX token is basically just like USDC. So I was just like, all right, you're really not losing anything in that regard. Yeah, thinking. Let's see, I do Altura, which is on Hyperliquid. That's got a pretty good APY overall. There was the recent one with Midnight. You could have done that. Mind you, that was months ago. So that was free. All I had to do was just make sure my computer didn't explode as it was running its whatevers. I had my computer running for like, I don't know, 3 weeks straight or something ridiculous. Like I was just like, don't die on my computer, just don't die. And it managed to make it. So it worked out. How did that one go for you, Tex?
Dude, I had like 5 browsers open on my gaming PC, and I made about $200 in airdrops.
Nice.
So yeah, and now of course I have to wait till they thaw, and it's like over time because their airdrop deployment, they don't want to dump it all and then people kill it, So
Yeah.
Wait, who's this? I'm sorry, who's that?
Midnight. It's Cardano.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, so they had it for a while where you could just like mine it on your computer with a browser, and I had to download like Eternal, which is a Cardano wallet. It's kind of weird, but it's all good. I kind of like what it's about. It's about privacy and governance token. Moon was trying to tell me about a governance token, but he's not here. But yeah, so I don't know. That's kind of been the meta right now: privacy and governance tokens and all this stuff. You saw like World Liberty Financial and all the drama with Justin Sun. over their governance token. It was supposed to be just a governance token, but then they released like 20% of it, and Justin Sun was not supposed to be part of that 20%, but he was, and he like moved it, and they thought he was gonna move it and sell it, you know, because he's an early investor in it. But that was kind of like, it's not an airdrop, but it was like the fact that you invested in something, this governance token, and then they release it for, you know, on the market, you can make a lot of money. But yeah, sorry, Hermit. That was how I did on midnight. So about 200, and you know what? I don't need $200, dude. I'm just gonna let it fucking sit in midnight, and hopefully it's another Bitcoin one day. You know. That's my point. Is that's part of my portfolio. In fact, I didn't even add that. I should add that because they're in Cardano wallets. But you know, that's something that's just free that adds into my main port. You know, and that's the thing, is like you got to really track all your wallets. You know, because if you're a degen like me, I have a bazillion fucking wallets, right? So like like about 6 months ago, I was fucking around on ICP. I got a bunch of money in ICP and some project there, which I used to promote. It's called Clown, and you can basically do what like Hermit was doing with Creekcoin. Is you just there's these raids, and if you just, all you have to do is tweet in X, and it detects it, and they pay you based on how much you promote it. You know, I thought that was cool, especially for like people that, you know, dollar goes a long way for. But yeah, there's lots of ways. Two more airdrops that, like, I'm in Texas, so I can't use Binance, but Binance has an airdrop for holding or using USD1, you know, World Liberty Fi's stable coin. And then my buddy is involved in a Genius terminal. There's an airdrop there, just signing up and trading on that terminal. So I signed up. I can't even really trade. It's you're supposed to be able to use Hyperliquid and Aster. I can't. I can VPN and use Aster. That has airdrops too. But yeah, no, my buddy's really excited about Genius. The Genius token just came out, and it's doing pretty well. You know, it's went from 5 cents to 6 cents. But again, when you're talking about pennies, like going up a cent is like 10%, 20%. A lot of people don't realize that that's the heart of like our meme coins. They're 0.00001, and they go even close to 10 cents. You're 1000xing these things. So those are the kind of plays that we're looking for in the bear market, you know. And it's not going to be a large part of your portfolio, but when you think about it, like if some of my meme coins that I'm invested in, you know, recover any of that 90% that they lost, they're going to be outperforming my big, you know, coins like Bitcoin and BNB, right? Because they just need to go up a little bit, and it's worth it. The risk versus reward is worth it, is what I'm saying. But I don't have to put a whole bunch of my portfolio in there. I don't have to go all in on any meme coin. That's stupid to me. You know, I get it. Like, oh, but I'm poor. I don't have any money. I'm just going to buy meme coins. Well, okay, but once you make that money on meme coins, let's assume you do, are you going to continue to gamble with it, or are you going to actually put it in something that has some long-term growth, right? So that's where I'm at. And I just wanted to kind of cover the whole thing about having 25% of dry powder right now. You know, that is so important, because when Bitcoin gets to its bottom, and I need to talk to you guys about that with the AI stuff. That's where I'm gonna start, you know, spending that dry powder on, and then we'll talk about how you're gonna use that to make money.
Well, and here's what I was going to say, because this is what I found. Just, you know, and it's funny because I knew about it, and I say I knew about it. It's not like it's some sort of secret. It's not. You know, people get into crypto because they need to generally. They're, you know, I don't want to say generally. people want to get into crypto because they, you see the times when it's like, oh man, dude, look at these gains you can make just from buying some random shit or something like that. So they see that, and so people are just like, oh man, it's that easy. Oh, dude, let's go. And and everybody here probably knows that. Hey, when you have 9,000 tokens a day being just launched, spam launched, it's one of those deals that people could get turned off real quick. And to me, it's one of those deals like, you should probably do your research in terms of like, I want to get a specific token. I need this token or whatever. Maybe it's just Solana, maybe it's just BNB or something to that effect, and be like, this is all I'm going to buy. This is what I'm buying right now. If you want, like, people want higher ROIs on stuff, then it's just like, all right, I'm just going to get, yeah, let's just, for the lack of a better token, Jupe. Like, I'm just going to buy Jupe, or I'm going to buy the Meteora token, or Moon was talking about the Chip token. He's like, I'm going to buy Chip, which is like some sort of AI token by USD AI. So you can look it up. I'll find it. And I'll just post their pinned post. But you just be like, oh yeah, I like this one. And just be like, this is all I'm going to get. Like, I think that's where a lot of people, just, I don't know, it ends poorly for everyone at this point, when they're just like jumping from one token to the next, to the next, to the next. I just pinned it up top so you can look at it. Not saying everybody should jump in, because I just, I heard about it yesterday. I was in some Discord and they were mentioning Chip, and then Moon. I saw the thing with Moon, and so I started to look at it. So
yeah, I wasn't sure if it was that, but now that you say it, like, that's what I saw. So I'll look into it more, but maybe talk about it next week. But
yeah,
when I did see the chart, it jumped from like just skyrocket and then it's going sideways. Like, I guess that's the kind of play. It's not like something you can trade. It's just hold and hope it just moons, right? That's all I can tell you for now.
yeah. Well, and that's just it. Like, if you like, so for example, EAC is a Polygon maxi. Mind you, he buys all the other crypto as well, but he likes Polygon the most, and so he'll get more Polygon. And Polygon's got a lot going for it if you dive into it. But being in crypto X, like, you're not. Sometimes you just don't pay any attention to Polygon. I don't see anything with Polygon, but that's just my timeline. I don't see anything in Polygon. I'm sure EAC sees Polygon stuff all day, every day, so he knows what's going on. So it's like, if you want to know more about Polygon, guess who you should talk to? EAC. But it's like, he believes in what they're doing, and it's like, just like you and BNB, you're just like, okay, I'm going to get some BNB. You might find some other ecosystem token, and just be like, okay, this is what I'm going to get. This is what I'm going to get, and that's what you stick to. Like, the people get wrecked when they jump from one token to the next, to the next, to the next. They're trying to rotate profits or something to that effect. And the thing is with you look at a bunch of the meme coins now, it's like they'll pump up and now they're down 90%, and so it's just like, you got a bunch of people there, what we like to say, community members, and that's just what it is at this point. So, like like, if you're gonna find a token that you want to get into, like, and you're looking for big, massive ROIs, like, there's there's chain tokens out there that will probably end up doing pretty well, but there's going to be a lot that just die. And it's one of those things. Everybody's just like, let me launch another chain. Like, dude, we don't need another chain. All the chains, like, is it good? Like, unless it somehow magically does something that no other chain can do, it's like, I don't think I don't think we need any more chains. Like, let's use the ones we have and make those better. But again, it comes down to, like, you probably more partial to BNB because that's where you probably is that where you started?
Yep.
So you're more partial to BNB. You know, I'm more partial to Solana. Did I start in Solana? No, I started in Ethereum and then made my way to Solana. But it's not I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, BNB's trash, Polygon's trash." Da, 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 da. Like I'm just not going to. Like everything serves its purpose. Every chain has the exact same stuff that any other chain has at this point. Like it used to be, you know, like, oh, you come to Solana for the meme coins. And it's like, well, Ethereum, you went to Ethereum first for the meme coins. Now you went to Solana, and then everything else just started jumping all over the place. And it's like you want to spin up a meme token on BNB, you can because they got a 4.meme done. It's the exact same thing as Pump Fun, only on BNB. So like, just take what we got already, find what you like, and not to sit there and say go all in. But it's like if you are say an Arbitrum, let's say I like Arbitrum, so I'm going to buy more Arbitrum tokens, but I'm not going to put my whole entire portfolio into it.
Not
But
after
that's
what they did today, Herman.
exactly. Oh, I know.
They're
but
lying
I'm
to
just
you.
saying.
Reach into their pocket and take what they got. It's the Krabby Patty secret formula. Sorry, I just had to say what up.
What's up, B. Haley? Yeah. But no, Arbitrum, this hacker, this Kelp DAO hacker, moved a bunch of ETH to Arbitrum, and Arbitrum's like freeze their Security Council, like the UN Security Council. You know, they decided to freeze this hacker's token, and yeah, it was a hacker, and we collaborated with law enforcement, but dude, we're DeFi, we're degens, bro. Like we're the decentralized, generation. Like what the fuck? You know, like I get it, it's a hacker, but can the Security Council just freeze our tokens now? Is that what we're gonna go into? You know, it's like fuck that. No, I'm staying clear away from that. You know, Arbitrum. Nope, not for me.
Did you see the other one? I can't remember what it was, but it was like somebody got onto a protocol and like reserved all of the fucking USD and USDT and like the billions and then like ported it all over to ETH. I can't remember did you see this one?
Was it Aave?
Yeah.
Well, I think that's is that part of the Kelp DAO hack?
It is, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's what happened. And it was funny because I was talking about this, and they want to like Aave. People are saying Aave should bail out, you know, the people that were, you know, took loans out and whatever, and gave their stable coin up because they're locked right now. You know.
I think you're echoing Tex.
Oh, am I?
Well, what I
No,
want to
you sound
know
fine to
is
me.
like, why do all these like shady DAOs and like secondhand protocols have like access to these massive like protocols like Aave? Like how is some contract where there's like a hack like interacting with their shit at all? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's the problem is that Aave trusted this Kelp DAO somehow, and now it's ruined their brand. You know, it's ruined who they are.
Aave's got so a lot of like arbitrage bots are used with Aave as well. So I don't know what's up with it. You know, there is something in their contract, but there's a lot of arbitrage bots that link themselves to Aave.
Well,
yeah,
that's what
'cause
I'm
it's a
saying. Like,
liquidity
I
pool.
feel like they were probably too bullish to work with as many different things as they could to be as flexible as they could. And they just left themselves butt naked open for exploit. Like, because one of their partners made something soft that connected to their main shit. And that's like what I'm trying to say. We're getting out of the area where like everything needs to be interconnected. We're kind of going back into this receded area where everything needs to be on its own island in order for it to be safe.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I was talking about that. It's like DeFi is becoming centralized, right? Like the Vercel hack. It was every front end that uses Vercel. So like 77% of the dApps could have been vulnerable to this Vercel leak, you know, of these private keys that Vercel put out. Now there's a patch, but how many are patched? So like literally I got this notice that says, don't use any dApp until we figure out what's going on. Like what? 77%? You know, it's like, it's crazy. We shouldn't have that much interconnectivity, you know? We're supposed to be decentralized, but apparently, they break those rules all the time.
Well,
you know?
let me tell you why. It's like we centered ourselves around in a period where there was no exposure, right? Exposure used to be the problem. That we needed Magic Eden to become like the backbone for NFTs. We needed dexes. We needed to solve all these problems because there wasn't a place to do it. Now we all kind of know how to do it, and the interconnectivity is there without them really having to exist because we can kind of spin the shit up ourselves now. So it makes more sense. Like I said the other day, like even for projects, like Magic Eden is slanted towards trading your project to zero. Whereas, like, if you make your own marketplace, you can set the metrics that you want to focus on that makes sense for your project. You can only do that kind of stuff inside your own ecosystem, and you're less vulnerable if you don't like spread yourself out over every single project or blockchain or collab or any of these things. Like keeping your solutions in house is actually a viable idea now and a safe one.
Yeah. And I know the topic's portfolio management, but like part of my portfolio management is I got multiple wallets. All my Bitcoiners not in freaking one wallet. You know what I'm saying? Like I just like I'm pretty smart when it comes to like not getting hacked or exploited or phished, or clicking. I don't click on all these links that get, I've never my
But even
wallet's
if you
never been
did,
drained. But
they're
even if I
not going to
did,
get your whole
yeah,
piece. They're only going to get one
exactly.
part.
Exactly. So that's part of the portfolio management is having multiple wallets, of
See,
course,
I'm in through a
Soulflare's in the
burner
house,
always.
make sure you have Soulflare as one of them. I'm not getting paid. It's just Quicks is my buddy and so is Jinsu. But yeah,
It just
have
works
multiple.
good.
Yeah, it works. But have multiple wallets, man. Just don't have all your eggs in one basket because we're seeing more and more of these hacks and they're like coming out of left field. And you're right. Aave partnered with KelpDAO, who partnered with Layer Zero, and now all three of them are effed, And well, my point is Aave's people are expecting, because Aave's the big brand, to bail out all these people. Like, no, that's how we got in this mess in the first place. That's how Bitcoin, because of bailouts by the banks. And it's just getting so ridiculous. And it's kind of bugging me really bad that like they think like they should have some bailout or they should reward their customers because it wasn't their fault. It's like, no, there's risk. There's risk in this game, dude. Like what? No risk, no reward. Like you gotta just eat it, bro. You know how many times I bought a fucking meme coin, for example, a shitter on Pump Fund and went to zero. I just wrote that shit off. I didn't even sell it. I got check them out. Exchange.soul. Just go check out my wallet, dude. You can see like I got all the fucking shit coins that my buddies got into when Pump Fund was like launching. Oh, you gotta buy this one. Oh, you gotta buy this one. Rug. And they're just sitting in my wallet. I don't even burn them, dude. I could burn them for like 0.02 soul or whatever. Fuck that.
I love Pump Fun, honestly. Like for better or for
I know.
worse, I think it's really amazing that they solved the liquidity issue roundly. Like for anybody who wants to make a coin, creating like the bonding curve and all of those things, like it's not the best solution, but it's a solution that like everybody can use now. And again,
yeah, but
I mean, you're talking about a platform where 1% of the people, if that, actually win.
but I'm not asking
So
people
it's
to
really not
win.
helping anybody make money but them.
Well,
yeah,
again,
they're
it's
extractors.
not
but
a solution for people. If you want to go on there and gamble and make a dumb coin, cool. That's like what the NFT space has always been. Like everybody's going to have ideas everywhere, outside of Web3, inside of Web3, and only 1% of those ideas are going to be successful. The point is that we have the place where people can can generate those ideas and put them out, like whether it's a stupid idea or a good one, they have a place. If they don't have like the knowledge or whatever to create liquidity pools and all that, they can just
Yeah,
go
but there's
deploy it.
so many other platforms besides Pump Fund that you can do that, and you're able to win, and you're able to actually make money. You're able to actually keep the token safe for 6 months or whatever time frame you want. Like there's other platforms people can use to actually make money and be safe doing it, but yet we still choose to use fucking Pump Fund where they literally extract from you, and it costs you more if you really do the math and fees and everything that they charge you before you even
Well,
bond.
here's my
So what?
point,
But
right?
what do I know?
Is not that there isn't other solutions. It's just that they're not popular solutions, okay? And like even at that, they might be partnered with multiple DAOs and all of this crazy shit. I'm not like a huge advocate for Pump Fund for all of the reasons people use it for today. I just think it answers a problem that we had before, and I appreciate it for that reason, and that's it.
Yeah, we can go back and forth, but let's get to our speakers. My quick 2 cents is like, I think it gets people involved in crypto. Yeah, they're going to get wrecked, but at least it gets them in the door, and then they can learn from there. That was B. Haley's point about Magic Eden. So I get your point, B. Haley. Let's go to Quicks with his hand up, the famous fox of Solana.
Yeah, let's go.
I'd make him wait. I wouldn't even let him.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Excuse me. Were you called on? Excuse me. Are you the famous fox on Solana? I'm sorry. I didn't realize that it was your time to talk. First of all, I'm sorry being late. I don't know if you guys are up to date or privy on the weather, but it went from summer this weekend to winter now. And so it's a significant temperature drop, which the fox doesn't do well with. So I've been a little bit sick like this afternoon, so I'm sorry I overslept a little bit, but this is an important conversation, and why we had our last stream to change my mind, the debate stream, is code law. You know what I mean? Because this is the exact conversation. Because this isn't, you can't just write this off, Tex. Because if you're comparing like meme coins to like stable coin yielding, which there's no excuse for this, because at the end of the day, it's the technology worked, right? These are all just like human security errors, multi-sigs with no time locks, socially engineered team members that are clicking links, you know what I mean? And this is unacceptable if we're the future of finance. You can't just be like, oh, this person had $2 million of stable coins on their platform and it's just gone. You know what I mean? They're not like trading meme coins, Tex. Like they're yielding stable coins, which is already like losing value as it is. And at the end of the day, like the two biggest ones, USDC and USDT, both of them can be frozen at any time. You know what I mean? Like Circle and Tether have complete control and authority, and at any time they could freeze your stable coins, and it's gone. It's gone. So I mean, this to me, first of all, is an extremely, extremely bad look on our industry. It sets us back years with trust, and it continues the stigma of crypto as a scam, because they're just like you don't. In the past month, in this month alone, there's been over $600 million in just DeFi hack protocols alone. And just DeFi hack protocols this month, over $600 million, dude. That's unacceptable in any like Web2 financial payment rail, banking institution like that. You're not going to hear that shit in Web. So like, I think also why people are calling for Aave to do something is like the direct response from Drift Protocol working hard to secure the deal with Tether for like the $160 million emergency plan, action to like start getting, the protocol up and running again, expanding the market share of USDT in Solana, and helping to make these users whole again. And that was like help facilitated by the Drift and team, and they work with Solana Foundation and stuff. So that's why I think people are looking towards Aave to like do something, because yeah, this is a risk that has to be taken in DeFi, but who's responsible for covering that risk? You know what I mean? Like even the banking institutions have FDIC insured up to like 150K, right? So like that, and these are important conversations to have. But I think security can't be like a joke anymore in this space, dude. We can't be like half-assing audits and having these teams have like two multi-signatures with no time lock with hundreds of millions of dollars, that can be It's just this isn't gonna work, dude. And this is kind of like dark times right now. It's like a lot of fun and we're having a good time. These are still really bad. Sentiment's bad. Sigma is increasing that crypto's a scam, and things need to change. So I'm not sure like what direction we're heading in. Feels a little weird right now, but dude, it can't keep going on like this. I think 100% Avi needs to step up and do something. 1000%.
Yeah, but the point I'm making is that Aave, their protocols weren't hacked, right? Like it was who they partner with, and absolutely they should definitely take it on the chin for partnering with this stupid DAO, right? Like we've known DAOs and how they've operated for a very long time, right? It's literally what you just said. Oh,
Dude,
there was
everyone's
one
just
guy.
pointing fingers at each other. Dude, like who's taking responsibility? Everyone's like, no contagion, like the tech was
Yeah.
good. It wasn't our team,
Yeah.
social engineering. Like you can't just sit there like the Spider-Man meme pointing fingers.
So
You know what I mean?
technically,
Right.
wasn't Aave though? It was whatever the hell that name of that wallet.
Kelp
It
DAO.
was, yeah,
It was, and then
yeah.
Kelp DAO
it's
says
late.
it was layer zero.
Yeah, it's
right?
layer
They're all
zero. It's layer zero approving the one-to-one verification. Right. That's what it is. That's a red flag. And this is why you got to do all your stable coin yield and earnings on Cardano. Now they're not going to offer any more yield, but they are going to give you staking rewards. And therefore, your money's kind of safe because they don't have that one-to-one
Did you just say
verification.
on Cardano?
100%.
Yeah.
If you're gonna park,
We're not using Cardano.
if you're gonna park large sums of liquidity somewhere, the safest place to park it, per the facts, per the history, is Cardano. 100%.
I'd rather use Tron, dude.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. If you put 100 million somewhere, your safest bet's Cardano.
Moon with
Well,
his hot
Moon
take.
smoking crack tonight,
Hey,
but for the rest of us that
hey,
are
we
on
got
Earth,
some Spanish person up on, and they had their hand up. Let's welcome them into the fold. I don't know
it's
how
like
to
the worst introduction ever.
Mafe. I don't know. I'm sorry, Quicks, but there we go. Hello.
Hi, for first, good
kinda
night
hot.
for everyone. Good night. I'm from Colombia, and my name is Maria Fernanda. My oldest 21 years old. Okay, I put my first Solana and $20, when I have 16 años más o menos. Sorry for my Spanish, man. I'm from Colombia, and I live with narcos every day, so it's funny. And I only got with the fact I had money like for shit, like when desde que yo era una niña, basically. So I put my money in this thing, and we are literally one virgin are here. 21 virgin are talking about crypto, I'm talking about nerd stuff. So I put my money in this shit. And I want this work. I want the coin work. And the coin is started, the money started, the money is perpetual. And es lo que necesitamos las personas ahora mismo. No necesitamos que un banco venga y nos diga, no, you don't have cash. Man, I put my cash in the bank. I put my money. I work for my cash every day. So you cannot say me, no, you don't use your cash, man. I'm working for this shit, and only I receive cars every day, and that I just block every cars because I don't know these people. These people don't know me and don't know like as 1% for my life, and the people only say when you are celebrate, when you put the music on on the on the alto. Cuando tú pones la música en lo alto es cuando te escuchan, pero cuando estás en la mierda, when you are put down, never, only you put your first in the losa. Tú pones tus pies en la tierra, you put your feet in the earth, and you wake up and you say, okay, I take that shit, I can, So the people only see when you are the top. When you're on the down, the people only speak you and nunca te dejan de tirar, So I put my money in this shit. I hold Solana when I lead a team, man. So I know how the money yo puedo salir a la calle sin dinero y regreso con lo que sea, like, hay $1, yo puedo multiplicar $1. Hace unos días renuncié a mi trabajo porque sentía mucho acoso por parte de un ingeniero de alimentos que la verdad era que de marica, hizo fucking faggot. And you can say me, no, you don't say faggot because you're a woman, man. I am a woman and I have more eggs for you. You know what I'm talking about? So I put my eggs, my ovaries, my uterus in this shit. I work for this shit, you know? So these are the money style. We are talk. We're persons. We're real persons. We're not boss, man. The boss is the people that only talking shit every day and don't put your fucking phone on the fucking table and don't put your fucking eggs on the fat. In the fat is the money talk. When the money talk, we are the people who put your face in this shit. En Trump, volvieron, lo que sea, viene y no nos puede decir, no, esto está bajando, esto que te valga verga si esa mierda baja.
Sí,
Yo no puedo,
sí, sí, sí.
yeah, yeah,
Gracias, gracias, Diosa. Oh my God, you are going off on a lot of this.
yeah, yeah. Wait, I don't see the crypto all day. I have a life. I tengo que comer, tengo que bañarme,
Tex, can you
tengo
give
que
us the
hacer mis cosas.
TLDR of what Mafa's saying?
Yeah, so she works her eggs off, which is her ovaries, on crypto,
Sorry
and
for my
but yeah,
it's
you're coming in kind of muffled, to tell you the truth.
Well, muffled, and I mean, I don't know how many Spanish-speaking people we have in here, to be
she,
honest,
she
Mafa.
I can speak Spanish, but yeah,
I know you can. That's why I said give us the TLDR.
yeah. Well,
Because
I
there was some
appreciate.
English in there. I was with her, and I do appreciate it,
And then
Mafa.
she
But
started speaking Spanish. Yeah.
kind of lost me a
But
little bit.
yeah.
no,
I
she's
hablo
frustrated.
portugués,
You know,
you know,
what
yeah.
And
I
it's not
appreciate it.
it's not any hate here.
Yeah,
like,
no.
she can speak 2 languages, and I can only speak one. It's just genuinely,
Yeah. The language is money is international. When you say money,
Yeah.
my jeans judíos simplemente explotan. So the fact is we are talk, and the money is in the table, and the money talks, you know. So it's just all.
Right. So yeah, I mean, that's the thing is crypto allows you to be your own bank. And so you have to be responsible for your own money and where you put it. And that's my whole point is yes, Abe has a big brand. Yes, they screwed up. But should they bail out everybody because they messed up? No, not really. They could do pennies on the dollar on some of that because Aave made some money off those transactions. But that's it. It's a business ethics question, and the one that I used, and the analogy I used in this situation is, a factory burns down, right? They get insurance money for the factory. Now all these employees are out of a job. Do they pay the employees for not working and because the factory burned down and they're all out of work, they have this money, or did they use that money to rebuild the factory? And the answer is, and as you rebuild the factory, because that factory is going to hire people, and it's just too bad, so sad for the employees that the factory burned down. That's just part of life. And that's what happened, is that their factory burned down. Their Ave fucking little like loan protocol thing burned down, and everybody got screwed. And now people are out of business. But if you just burn down don't rebuild the factory, then they're not going to have work in the future. So that's what I'm saying is like Ave just needs to like apologize, give, whatever they made off of it back to, some of the people, like pennies on the dollar, but say, sorry, that this is the risk you take, and
Yeah.
and then maybe we'll get a better Ave.
So the bigger question here is, does Lazarus and these malicious actors, or a few of them, have? Okay, look, if you can look at their track record, they have a track record of pulling off some sophisticated hacks, right? And doing it very proficiently. So with that said, is it unthinkable that they were able to hack into maybe like the Anthropic code base or the OpenAI code base or Google or whatever? These players that have secret access to quantum computers and AI levels like Mythos. I think it's these Lazarus people are using a local model that is highly far sophisticated than anything that you or Sal and TextChange and Quix, that any of us are able to run up and spin up, because none of us have ever tried to hack into the code base of Anthropic. I think that it's probably safe to say that they are using some sort of like super intelligence that's not available to the public to pull off these and to highlight these exploits.
No, I would say that that's like gonna be something we have to worry about soon, and I don't know if they're doing that now, but what they're doing points more to two things: extreme levels of patience and social engineering, and then the other thing is like build level exploits. So like what I mean by that is that they'll go in and see like what people are running and how their programs and softwares and protocols are built, right? And let's say it's built off like Node or NPM or like one of these things, right? And their system is outdated. Like let's just say Node updates from 20 to 22. And lots of things that are attached to Node 20 become what we call deprecated, right? So they either stop working or they stop patching certain security features. And if people don't update their back end software to like new shit, right? A lot of the times what happens is that there's now an infrastructure crack. And then they're very good at finding people who haven't done those things and then leaning on that in combination with social engineering and forming like a long-term plan around that. So that's something I've been noticing. They'll find out how these packages are built and what they're using, like tools like Axiom, NPM, and these things, and then they'll crack it on a fundamental level just based off the fact that like there's an exploit, in older software. So like I don't think it's supercomputer based, but these people are definitely fucking like super good engineers and developers, like but pre AI engineers.
No, 100,
Yeah,
100 they are sophisticated. I just it would make sense to if I was on that level, I would be going at that code base so that I could do what I'm doing better. And but I hear you, Haley. I'm glad you looked into it, and there definitely is like the most recent one was 100% socially. They just got it to accept a message that wasn't true, and that's why the one-to-one verification over bridge is pretty. It's just a red flag. That's why again, you got to park your money in Cardano, right? So Charles sent me here to get the word out. By the way.
There we go. I think like what they do is that they send in spies. Okay, they'll send in spies to find out like how people are doing things. And in the case of like the one that was a lot more social engineering, they're probably surprised and they're like, "Wow, we actually don't have to do any hacking here. We can just kind of exploit these people and lean on them that way." Whereas in other ways, they'll like get involved with these companies just to see like how their software is designed and see if they can get like a back end look at like what they're running and then formulate a strategy around that. So like we're seeing like a two-handed approach, but like there's a lot of like getting involved with these people to let them see what's going on for them to like, break your shit. So that's like a big deal. Like these conferences and they have people, they have spies, dude, like real people, and they don't all look
But B.
North
Haley,
Korean.
B. Haley, all you have to do, and I saw this actually works. All you have to do is get them to say Kim Jong Un is a big, fat, ugly pig. And if they can't say that, they're a last factor. Like, did you see that video? He's like, yeah, looks like we can hire you, but I just need you to do one thing. And the guy like locked up. Like he didn't know how to handle it.
unpopular opinion. Unpopular opinion. I think Kim Jong Un knows his. I know Kim Jong Un. He knows about the market is going. He only. I think Kim Jong Un. He only that only wake up, see her mobile, and say shit, man, and put the phone down, and he only likes it, like. I think the man knows about with that because I know about a little Mandarin and I know I think the man knows things. You know, I think the man knows things, and he only hold he sold Solana, you know. El man debe estar holdeando Bitcoin a más no poder, man.
Which
Y,
which
y yo
man?
también sé
Which man are you talking about? Kim Jong Un?
yeah, yeah,
Oh, okay.
opinion.
Yeah.
I think the man knows because I only hold Bitcoin, Solana, Terra X, and Ton and Not and this no gone, okay? Because I think it's perpetual, it's a good deal, and I had Bitcoin, I had Solana, I had Terra X, Joe. I don't think why not. So the man knows things. The man knows things. He's not dumb. Kim Jong Un is not dumb. I think Corea del Norte and Corea del Sur es like Colombia and Venezuela. Solamente los que estamos acá sabemos cómo son las cosas, you know. And I don't live in front of Venezuela, but he knows Venezuelan person. He knows the person. He knows the people. I know when the people only want que alguien los escuche, básicamente, y eso es lo que nosotros necesitamos también, que alguien nos escuche, que salvamos nosotros que somos que 10, 20, 17 adolescentes que crecimos en the Web3, on the Twitter, on the all
Preach.
years, say, we're real people,
We know.
yeah, we only tenemos nuestros problemas, so the money's on the table, the cards on the table. If you don't have the money, if you have envy, boy envy, because it's in a spot, envy is in a spot. So boy envy.
I
Boy
understand
envidia.
her completely, but yeah, so I know. But can you say Kim Jong Un is an ugly fat pig?
No.
No? Okay, you might be a Korean spy.
She's a Korean spy.
She's a Korean spy for sure.
No, because I live with narcos. I see the narco face to face every day. So
Rifle
I
butt
don't spoil me. I
raises
don't spoil me.
slowly.
Okay, Kim Jong
The
Un is
derivatives are
a
starting to.
fail. No, go ahead, Moon.
I was just saying, I don't know if any of y'all played that MAGA ticker. I've been posting about it since like damn near 400K high key. But the derivatives are starting to roll out. I don't know how much higher they can push this bitch. It's like 20 mil right now, and it's a shitty ass meme. It's one of the worst memes I've ever seen in my life. Make aliens
No,
great again.
but now that you're here, can you explain us what this chip is?
Yeah, it's a governance token essentially. Like it's over this protocol. I
For
think it's
what?
like
Governance for what?
it's I'm getting back into the
Go
information
on,
here,
go on a
brother.
second. Go on a second.
I'm getting
Go on a second.
wait, what? I'm sorry.
You're getting
Secret.
psy out, bro. Just stick to the shield. Trust me.
All right. All right. Acts as governance token for the USD AI protocol, allowing holders to vote on collateral, right? So essentially the same thing as like collateral types and development while it's related asset and generate. So look, same thing as like all these other government tokens. Well, yada yada yada, but you get the rights to vote on what exactly. And it's related to USD AI and generates yield from AI hardware loans, right? Like so like GPUs and such things. And like so staked USD AI is yield bearing. It's designed to finance artificial intelligence infrastructure, specifically to NVIDIA GPUs, and is the staking counterpart to USD AI stablecoin within the USD AI protocol. So what had me that it was the line that had me interested on it tech from this morning was that the GPUs line, because that's a big thing. And
Well, you know what Render does, right, Moon?
go into it. What does it do?
Well, Render, and it would try to make its money on the last bull market, which wasn't an alt market, but they rent out. You can rent out your GPU for Render tokens, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, and I still believe in it. I think they're just too early in its time because but yeah, it's they didn't make it, you know. They didn't make it, and they're still hanging out, and I'm not invested in it at all. But you know, because I think people don't want to rent out their GPU; they just rather have it for themselves, you know. Um, and then it sounds like this is a whole like, you know, you said, oh, this is what all these governance tokens like. Why would I want a governance decide on collateral? That sounds like super sus. Like, you know, some malicious group buys up the majority of this thing and then votes for like some bullshit collateral, and then everybody's gonna get wrecked. So that's, dude, I'm so bearish on DAOs. After Kelp DAO and then Rave DAO, you know, I'm just done with DAOs. And I've been done with DAOs for a long ass time. Yeah, I was talking to my buddy who's a Bored Ape. You know, remember when Bored Apes had their DAO? It fucking went to shit because, like,
can't even fucking get anybody to vote, dude.
yeah.
Like, if I got 100 people in my project, I bet if I threw up a vote right now,
Or-
I'd get like 8 motherfuckers.
Or
to do it.
Juke. The Juke, they're like, oh yeah, let's vote for another airdrop, you know, and just let's give $1 million to the team, you know. And it's like, dude, no, like, stop. It's like
Yeah.
Congress like voting for their own like raises. Like, what?
It's like
Doesn't work.
it's like I see people day every fucking day. So I don't want they join, you know. So the fact is the fact
Here we go again.
My
No, but if
whole
DAOs can't work, bro, what are we doing here? Like, in all seriousness, like if you guys are bearish on DAOs, like what are we doing here? Like, just go
And-
back to like Web2, open up a bank account, bro, because like this is like decentralized finance. This is like the next step towards like what we're trying to do. You know what I
100%.
mean? So like this like
I'm talking about the
this
governance.
needs to work.
Bearish,
It's a
dude.
fucking
Look,
Gangnam style,
checks.
man. It's a fucking Gangnam
Deliver
style.
checks. But look, if compute is consistently getting more and more expensive, if you know Mac Studios were $1,000 last year and this year they're $2,500, this is going to continue to, the price of running these AI models is gonna, and tokens in general, the tokens that are that you get for having a Claude subscription or a Chat GPT subscription, we're about to see $1,000 subscriptions whenever Mythos rolls out. So like,
No, I get it, dude.
something like
AI is going to be big in the future, but I'm just saying this might not be the way to make it. You know what I mean?
I get you. It had a lot of exchange support off the rip though too. I mean, it's definitely something to look at. I mean, the price action is going to continue to look like how we saw from today or from whenever it launched. It's going to continue to you know, it's going to consolidate. Same thing Astra's doing, and eventually it's just going to rip, right? And or jackknife. That's what these things do. And I don't know. It's if the thesis is if they're able to continue to raise money and continue to get people to go into that ecosystem, I mean, it'll work because of the fact who isn't using AI right now? That's the thing. Like everybody is using AI like to do something. And I don't know, man. We're already at the point. I've been telling people to buy computers for like the past 4 weeks. So like this is kind of like right up the alley. And again, it was just
I think what Tex is saying is just that there already has been Render, there has been Helium, there has been the entire Peak network, which is dedicated to powering AI and stuff like that.
Timing, you know?
Yeah.
I don't see AI. I don't see AI. So, unpopular opinion, es todo culpa de los judíos. Fin, ya, lo dije, lo tenía que decir. Es culpa de los judíos. Y la verdad es que yo también soy medio judía. O sea, like, I'm Colombian, man. I have blood, judía, and Alemán blood, and Spain blood, you know. I know about I know about the people want see. The people want see luxury. The people want see money, chicken, bling bling, clan clan. You know. So it's the fact. It's the monetary. We listen. It's hay que darle a la gente lo que quiere. Like the Eminem song. It's the life. Like it's the life.
And
Si la vida te
who
si
in
la
here
vida
is
te da
voting
limones,
to
es
give
puta
all the
limonada.
Colombians money and chicken?
and
Because like I'm not doing that.
and B Haley.
But like what I will say is that like I agree with Quicks. I agree with Quicks that like we need to be bullish on the DAO part for the reasons that it is like we have the governance. But I disagree because the execution of all of these ideas has been piss poor. So like now you guys gave me an idea, like trustless voting, right? So like basically for example, in my project, 100 people fucking there's an issue presented every time and there's like just a tab you have to switch, and basically either you vote one way or you vote the other way or you abstain, and like it literally just calculates who votes and then what the position of the group is every time. And like it's basically you don't have to do anything. It's either you vote one way or you vote the other way on an issue, or you don't vote at all. And it just says like, oh, 6 people voted, 4 of them voted this way, 2 voted the other way, it goes this way, right? So like it's like if you want to participate or not, but like it really doesn't require you to do anything. That's like the friction point, right? Is like getting people to interact is always hard. So like trustless, like you don't really have to do anything except switch a tab or some shit in your own wallet would really be awesome.
And
if you have a product that people are visiting on a daily basis, anytime that you have a proposal put forward, have it as like a pop-up that comes up before, like when you connect your wallet, this is the notification of there is a proposal pending, vote now, or something like that.
Yeah, for the NFT, like it'd be cool if like Soulflare, for example, had like a native feature to support that. Like if a
Yes.
collection has a posting or something, like it's just put through the wallet if you hold something from that collection. But like that could get messy. It's just like an idea.
and
I guess Jupiter did that with Jupiter Mobile, but then of course
And
every
then
single
people
one of
just
their
copied it
proposals
with
was give us
spam
more money.
NFTs.
And in
Yeah.
relation to the, I mean, you guys brought up helium. I mean, helium fucking ripped. I mean, it was like $1.50, and then all of a sudden that shit was like $6, and then it consolidated around there, and then it went to $10. I mean, these types of protocols have a history not of necessarily solving the problem they set out to solve, but they do have a history of raising a shitload of money. And I don't know, man. I just wouldn't write it off just because helium didn't, you know, work out as far as like the blueprint and the technology. I mean, they raised a bunch of money and they're probably still building at this point. Um, you can see something like this do well, like this chip. Um, if you're willing to put in a little bit of change there, and it might sit at 5 cents for the next, God knows, 30 days, 60 days, but these things have a tendency of doing pretty well and after launch because nobody, it's that AI Pandora's box that you see the same thing in IPOs. Like this isn't just an ICO thing. IPOs in the technology industry, like they come out, they get these crazy raises and crazy evaluations. I mean, just look at what's happening right now with Anthropic and OpenAI. And they're able to raise this money because they're selling the future. They're selling something that doesn't exist. They're selling something that nobody can really actually like
Vaporware.
understand, right? And so
Vaporware,
you're
Moon.
selling dreams, right? And so the sky literally becomes the limit. It's got exchange support, USDT tied to it, day one, USDC. Like I think it's gonna USD1. I think it's gonna do. I think it might be all right. We'll see.
Yep, we will see. Well, that's the thing, is this is the bear market, we'll see how much liquidity they can extract out of this. Back to the whole pump fund thing, when they launched right when Bitcoin was at like 40,000, recovering from the bear market. It was the perfect timing for them to launch. And, yes, they did a lot of extraction, but dude, people were coming, Solana
And
jumped to
Solana was
296.
jumping 100%.
Yeah, exactly. So, hindsight's always 2020, but I agree with you, Moon. Sometimes these things will run just on the metal alone. Is it something that I can get behind? Probably not, but it's okay. There's lots of opportunities out there, and this is the time to be looking for those gems, because not a lot of people are going to survive the bear market. And that's my whole point with portfolio management. If you're holding on to something that didn't do well, right? Like especially I use October 10th as an example. Look at October 10th. Look at your favorite coin and how well it did on October 10th when the whole market just dumped. Did it hold up or did it not? If it didn't hold up, think about getting out of it and find something else that will return when we get the bull market next year. That's all I'm saying. You know,
remember Astor being the October 10th hedge? Impeccable timing from the crew on that one.
Right? I'm so pissed too because I was long in Astor and I got out of my Bitcoin short right before the crash. I should have held my Bitcoin short, but oh well.
You'd have been like you would have been winning on long and short.
Dude, I made 100. I know I made 100% on that trade on Astor. 100% of the trade because CZ was on in an interview. You know, and I'm like,
if you had margin to continue to load, if you had margin to continue to support, Astor off launch was free.
Yeah,
it was so free.
Yeah, but I know it's so crazy. But you know, it's crazy. What was crazy on Hyperliquid? Everybody was AML'd, you know, or ADL'd, auto leveraged, you know. So be careful, like with who you want to give your money to, because you know you can't win. You know, like
instantly goes and attacks Hyperliquid.
Right.
Jesus.
Well, I'm just saying, dude. A lot of people got auto deleveraged, and they only got auto deleveraged on Hyperliquid, not anybody else. You know, and speaking of if it's centralized or decentralized, you know they Hyperliquid can freeze your funds too, even though it's decentralized, right? So how decentralized is it? I'm just saying.
No, it's incredibly bearish. And on that point of the Astor's going to do well because, I mean, look at Polymarket today. Oh, we're going to go into perp trading. Obviously, Polymarket, Coinbase, you name it, right? These established corporations are going to end up having very favorable UIs and UEs, right? And so people are going to want to use them just because it's so easy to use, like normies, right? But the thing that Astor can do that nobody else has the plan of doing right now. Astor is planning on opening up permissionless listings text where you and I and Hermit, you know, on there and list a token to be traded with leverage. And that is all going to give them the hedge because what they're doing right now, Astor is damn near front run every pump with their listings. It gets listed on Astor and it pumps like an hour later, day later. And so what they're doing right now, and you see a lot of guys like with the .hl, they're talking about it. They're like, holy shit, like we haven't been able to trade Rave. We haven't been able to trade Asteroid. We haven't been able to trade this, that, or the other. And so I do like that part of the decentralized exchange where they're going to open up permissionless listings. I'm super excited to see how fast the chain is whenever it goes live because the DEX is super fast, the low cost. I'm very excited to see how well the chain performs whenever they open it up to permissionless smart contract listings. I think I think that's a good play.
Moon, did you see my TLDR portfolio that is posted in the Jumbo?
I'll give it a read. I haven't read it yet.
I'm just gonna highlight the fact that the number 2 bullet says Crow, Captain BNB, and Astor are sizable, higher risk bets relative to their ecosystem and liquidity. So yeah, like that's what I was saying. Is like you should be getting into those higher risk bets at smaller percentages of your portfolio. So yeah, Astor's one of them. So definitely, I think that's something that I can see. It's like 69 cents right now, and you compare it to like Hyperliquid, which is almost in the top 10 now. Oh no, it is in the top 10. Hyperliquid is in the top 10 now. Solana better watch out. It's coming for you. No, I'm just kidding. Great. But yeah, no, it's at $40, right? So like Astor, if it goes from 69 cents to $20, holy shit, 20x, even more. So that's the kind of stuff that I'm waiting to see if it moons during the bull market next year.
Is your money, is your money, is your risk. Es tu dinero, es tu riesgo, ya. No me vengas aquí a preguntar, ay, le metí esta moneda o esta shitcoin
o memecoin. Yeah, it's money that I can lose.
Yeah. It's your money, it's your risk. Don't tell me, it's your money, it's your risk. Binance has a contract. Binance has términos y condiciones. If you don't see the términos y condiciones, it's not my fucking problem.
That's right. And if you're on Binance, if you buy USD1, there's an airdrop. So I don't have Binance.
You criminal, dude. You can't just get through an episode without shilling crime, can you, dude? You know? Trying to take us to jail with you, bro. Get the fox out of here. I'm not buying nothing.
I got
World
those Binance
You
liberty,
don't have
fine.
Binance. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, no, because I like my freedom, dude. I'm not going to jail.
Binance
dude.
is the North Star of Solana listings.
But look, here's also the problem and why DeFi is just like stupid sometimes, right? So how did they get to the RS ETH, right? Well, first of all, keep in mind stablecoins earn yield from treasury bills and they share it with none of you. But let's look at like how they got like the RST ETH, right? So they were staking ETH, right? But that wasn't good enough. So then they needed to take that staked ETH and get like a collateralized tokenized representation of that to restake that they then received other collateralized point tokens to then restake again and I think
It
it
was a
happened like one
Ponzi.
more
Just
time.
say it. It's a Ponzi.
It's 100% Ponzi, bro, because they just like no one wants to share the yield with you. Even in decentralized finance, even in Web3 crypto, they are still so greedy. They don't want to share any of the yield, any of the rev share with any of you. And so like that's kind of why we're forced to like have DAOs. But DAOs also like we need them to work, but they're also stupid because people are stupid. They don't think in like the best interest of the company. They're
Yeah,
thinking in the
people
best
that's
interest of like their bags and short-term gains. They're not thinking of like how this is going to play out 3 years, 5 years down the road on the roadmap. So I understand like why the frustration and why they fail. But at the same time, like we need better systems. We need better systems for them to work. That reward people participating in that's why Monkey DAOs have been pretty successful. They have like elections, they host events, they do things. But they also have like their separate capital, like it's not just solely based on venture capital, and that's also like pretty important,
Yeah, I mean, if
DAOs.
there's somebody running it quicks, right, and then you just have a governance vote to like help them decide to how to do it, like a republic, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having a republic where you vote in like your person, but they run it, not relying on the people to vote 100%, because that never works. I'm telling you, never fucking works.
100%. It needs to be
Stupid
democracy.
people.
Yeah, like we need like more representatives, and you need to like vote for your representatives, like just like it does in the United States. Like it needs to be democracy because it's like B. Haley said before, dude. If he has 100 people right now, but if he showed up for a vote this week, like gun to my head, there's a 50-50 chance like I'm gonna remember to do it, and I'm like here every day, and so like that's like it's the same across like every DAO. You can't expect like, oh, we're gonna have a week-long voting session in May. Well, guess what? Like 60% of your holders missed that announcement. The other 80, another 80% aren't gonna be here in May or whatever. So it's just you do need some sort of like democratic representation. But at the same time, you can't be entrusting the DAO to make long-term. You have to kind of map out like, okay, like kind of like Jupe does, like, okay, here are your options. We can either do this or not do this, like here's how it's going to affect the project, short-term, long-term. What do you guys want? And like, that's like the best way to do it. But also,
Dude, I don't think those kind of decisions should be left up to the governance. Like, I don't like when it comes to like how a project decides to redirect or pivot, I think that should be left to the proprietary team. But like what I do think that governance should come in at is like, I don't know for like a Dex market or something, but like for our project, it'd be like, should we award this person a thing? Like they were nominated enough times, yes or no? Like this person or that person?
and that's
Who
what I'm
gets
saying.
it,
Like, I'm
right? Like
like, you know what? No, like, no, I don't want the funds like from my project that I'm invested in going towards something that I feel is like a waste of money. So I should have a voice in being able to say that like I don't agree with this like decision that the project's making, And I think that is in essence like. Yeah, they shouldn't be hitting up the DAO for any operational costs. Like, yo, so we switch our, toilet paper provider this month, to save 15 cents a month. Like, no, like that shouldn't be a decision the DAO makes. But like anything that's gonna like directly affect the direction of the token or like pricing, like should definitely be going through the community and the DAO. Like they should 100% have a say in this. Otherwise, I'm just like, it's all just trust me, bro. It's like trust this team. And then the problem happens with no ownership because like no team wants to clearly identify ownership of the company with their tokens. And we saw it happen with Tensor. Like we're going to see this happen again with more projects as like larger institutions and larger companies come in and acquire the infrastructure and user base that some of these projects already have. It's going to continue, and you're going to see like the Tensor team built that other product. Oh shit, what was the name of it? Vector, and then they got acquired by Coinbase, and they cashed out all their Tensor tokens, didn't tell the community shit, and then that's it. Now NFTs, no clear direction. Marketplace, no clear direction. Token, no clear direction. Same thing with Mad Lads, bro. Like now
But
it's
why?
like,
Listen to yourself. Why is that? Because the core team who had the good ideas sold out and left, or they passed on the burden of whose problem that was to either their community or somebody else.
exactly. But
And
the community's supposed to win during an acquisition, right?
but
That's
you
like the
get too
goal.
many cooks in the kitchen, bro, and you can't make every idea viable. You have to find the best of every idea.
But we're talking about
and
like the end
try to
goal. Like
homogenize
I'm talking
that.
about like the end goal of like being acquired, which is like that's pretty much the goal of any startup is to like build up big enough to either start acquiring or be acquired, right? So now we're talking governance of the token, but we're also talking ownership of like the actual project. Because if you're
But
here
yeah,
making
okay,
governance
I see
decisions,
what you're saying now, and here's where I disagree with you again. I think being acquired is a very Web 2 idea. If you're a Web 3 company trying to get bought by Google, you're doing it the opposite way around. Whereas the other thing you
yeah,
said,
but that's
acquiring, is what we should be
but
doing.
we're seeing it.
That's
We
something
see it
I would
happen
vote on
though.
governance.
We see like companies get acquired for hundreds of millions of dollars and stuff, dude. You know, like these projects that like have they built like good tech, dude, and it works. The infrastructure works. So they're getting bought out. So that's true. It is true. And getting acquired like is like the goal for a lot of startups, even in Web 2, like Web 2, Web 3. But the whole thing is that like if you can't just like give these people governance on all these decisions, but the moment you're acquired, that's it. All right. Well, thanks for playing. You know, we'll see. You know, GG's. Well played.
Tale as
Yeah,
old as
yeah,
time.
yeah. It's like the old boomers think if the old boomers think, oh, I closed the fucking door. Man, if you close the fucking door, I crack the fucking window and I crack the fucking house and I board the fucking house because if you don't say me no, I only see why no, you know? So the fact is the fact, the fact, the fact, no, the fact. The fact is you put me money in the table, I go to in, I go to hall, I go to see how this money was around, So hay que darle a la gente lo que quiere. Si la gente quiere visajeo, yo voy a visajear todo lo que se me dé la gana. Voy a ir a las casas de la gente rica que conozco, voy a tomarme las fotos en todos los carros de mis amigos or friends, because ni siquiera tengo licencia de conducir, pero yo fui a la casa de la tía mía y le dije, tía mía, voy a tirar un visaje ahí todo bien visajoso a lo Blaze. A lo fucking thing, a lo Chris R. Pratt, the fucking god, man. And I
You're
found it
losing
there.
me. I'm not understanding anything. I'm so sorry. You seem very nice.
Does someone in the room speak Spanish?
Text does.
I understand it, but it's just I don't know what she's saying.
I'm from
When she's
from
when she's
Colombia.
talking in Spanish, does it magically become like incredibly comprehensible?
No, she's talking about like her kids in the house or something. I'm not.
Yeah,
She's making an analogy to like a house.
I
If
got to,
you're like,
I got to,
it's a house between like the
I got
analogy is the project, you know, and like yeah, we're the residents of the house.
if the boomers close the door,
I was
we are
almost there.
open the window. It's a fact. If the boomers close the door, we are open the window. It's on. It's out.
That makes more sense. Thank you, Quicks.
Got this, dude. But it's man, these are crazy times that we're in right now, and dude, I just feel that like we're after this past month, we're like years. People don't understand like how far off we are now from onboarding real users to this ecosystem. But these are like these are the growing pains we need to go through that honestly we should have gone through years ago, but everyone was just focused on meme coins and NFTs and making a whole bunch of money. But this is it's so wild, man. Like it's hard to believe. Like we're so numb to the idea that oh, another $290 million gone from a DeFi exploit, but it's like that can't happen. Like this shit, we can't.
No.
This can't be just like a normal thing that we hear each week, like a school shooting in the United States. You know, we gotta do something about it. You know,
Bro, it's the most bullish news you can hear. They now have all the money. Once again,
who North Korea has all the money? Dude, who has the money?
No, all of the powers that be, all of the market manipulators, the governments, the fucking VC funds, whoever's doing these fucking hacks. And now in this cycle, they're going to want to pump it again. This always happens. This has been happening since 2011.
It's the make it cycle for crypto.
Yeah, so now they have all the liquidity again, and they're going to pump it. And we just hold on to whatever the hell you can and survive the pump. And don't start throwing it away on everything in euphoria and stuff like that.
I like to call them
it's
red
a bottom
carpets.
trigger.
I like to call them red carpets.
Yeah.
They're rolling out the red carpet for the right players. You know, get the Blanks in, get the BlackRock in. Everybody they want in, they're gonna roll it out for them. Bitcoin was too high before FTX. They had to make sense. Look, bro, SBF is going to be out of prison here pretty soon. He is in jail right now, writing the laws for like crypto accountability. I'm not bullshitting you, Text. 100%. He's in there writing the laws, helping the government out, and they're gonna give him. He's gonna write in the clause or write in somewhere that basically gets him a pardon. 100%. You'll see it happen. Red carpet thesis. He was put in place just
put
to
it on
pull
the
it off.
prediction market, Moon. Put it on the prediction market.
Hey, speaking of prediction markets, like crypto's not all bad. Like it's kind of doing its job right now, in a sense. Like prediction markets, like the price, like there's like Trade XYZ had pretty much has the last 2 monthly closing has been like right on the like pinpoint for like where it'll close at, like over under, you know. So if you're using these prediction markets like to get like tradable data and like levels, it's like low-key becoming like a pretty like solid tool. So crypto's doing its job. Like, the technology is getting better. There's just a lot of fucking happening right now. So like I agree with Wag.
There's a 5-minute prediction market on Bitcoin, and it's like highly manipulated. Like Bitcoin will be going up, but like thousands of dollars is being betting that Bitcoin's going to go down, and then they literally like move the price of Bitcoin down just to win that bet.
Yeah, the 5-minute stuff is crazy. But I'm talking about the monthlies. But yeah, the 5-minute stuff is like definitely like kind of feels like more like just playing. Like I'd rather just go and like play coin flip on Roobet or some shit. You know what I mean? What are we doing here? But it's like better odds, low key.
No, but if you track the wallets or the people that are betting, you know, you can see when they vote against it and they've been winning all the time, they're going to sway, they're going to manipulate the market, dude. And it's kind of interesting to see it play out.
Great point.
Well, guys, we're like 5 minutes from 2-hour mark. So if you want to make some closing statements, we can rotate this to another space. I know what's his name has a space going on right now.
Tommy BB.
Tommy. Yeah.
BB Tom. Yeah, I'll probably go hang out with him, see what's up, Tom.
Yeah,
well, yeah, let's wind it down.
And
you used to co-host. I don't know how this space.
Yeah, what happened? What happened?
Let me see. Tommy doesn't know how to be a real friend. That's what happened.
This space is nuts. God.
And he lies and he manipulates, but you guys will all learn eventually when it's your turn.
When it's my turn, we will learn.
I'm watching the waves moving through the space, and I will hold my comment for the time being.
Man. Hey, on another note, if you want to tap in, I've been posting tickers that have been cooking. I've been keeping it to a short list every day, about 4 tickers. I post a top mover and I post tickers that are still cooking. One of those still cooking tickers, and we caught it I sent it to some group chats earlier on, but anyhow, we still posted that son of a bitch at 800K market cap, and right now it's at 20 million, and it's got plenty of liquidity, and it had a 6-day build up. So I don't know, man. Just tap in. We've been doing good over here. We hit Unk, we hit MAGA, we had a couple shitters in between there, like ADHD and Motion, but those weren't really good enough to talk about. But hey, we cooking in the trenches again. Fuck perp trading.
Wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to be perp trading on that note. But if, there's always options. And, like I said, it's a bear market. So find the gems out there. That's all I can give advice on. Hermit, you have anything?
Stake your USD1
yeah,
on Cardano.
just be smart with stuff. And, I just spent probably the last hour actually trying to get some Cardano onto a Cardano wallet without trying to use minimal centralized exchange. And it wasn't easy. So I don't know what to tell.
Nah, Cardano is definitely in bed with, like, I think everybody. He's at the White House, bro. Like, come on now. Like, so is Raj and Toby, though. Like, we're getting Raj is from fucking Texas, bro. Like, what are we talking about here? These guys are, So, but
I don't know. I'm trying to get my midnight tokens right now, and I think I just finally did it. So, my goodness. There we go. Done. I think I'll find out. Be smart. And if you're building something, push it out there. And if you're not building something, start building something and push it out there.
Go for it, Quicks.
Yeah, I just want to make an announcement before Sal bites my head off for like the future. So I will be here next week, but the week after I'm going to be at Accelerate in Miami for Consensus. So I will not be here in 2 weeks. I just want to be clear about this. I'm going to be in Miami. And if you guys are going to be in Miami, please let me know. I want to see a lot of you guys. Also, humble brag, but not really. I did get approved to the Pudgy Penguin event, and I am going to it. So just, no big deal. Not even a holder. I hold the Pengu token on Solana, but I don't hold the ETH NFT bearish. But I got approved for it. So with GG's, we did it, boys. We're going to the Pudgy Penguin party.
Quicks, not only should you not be skipping spaces, you should be hosting spaces live while there.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
like from inside the party. Like Shrimp used to do that shit back in Miami for the whatever part, the Clanhole parties, and when that kind of stuff was going on. Like people hosting spaces inside the event, talking to people in the event and stuff. It helps people that aren't there, like, be a part of it. They're such hype spaces. If you're not doing it, like maybe someone there or something like that, maybe someone from the team, a fucking Soul Flare thing happening.
Oh my god, you're adding work for me right now.
My bad, bro.
But we're thinking that we're going to be doing some live streaming from there.
I do want to see pictures though. Like I went to the Bitcoin Pizza Ninja party, whatever, and it was a bunch of dweebs. So you probably might not
remember that guy we met there, bro, the British dude. What was up with that? Or he's Austrian,
dude,
actually.
You guys left me with this fucking loser when I walked in, dude. I thought he was like important or something. I should have had him say Kim Jong-un is a big fat pig because he looked like Korean. But anyway,
they're like, Tex, we want you to meet someone here. Yeah, and then they just slowly walk away from the conversation.
They did, bro.
Dude, no. That's
so
not how it
bad.
That's not how it went down. Clutch went up and talked to this guy at the because this guy was just sitting alone. Clutch went up and talked to him, and then this guy tried to like lecture us on like markets and what he was just shithouse drunk though. He wasn't making any sense. Tex came up, talked to us. It was three-way conversation inside the party. Then we leave. Tex initiates the conversation outside in the lobby. And I was not sticking around for that. We had already talked to him.
Yeah, you should have done, hey, Tex, come on. Like, fucking, dude, you left me there and I didn't know. And then I was like, I turn around and I'm all like, I had to like weasel my way in. Because anyway,
You know, I
yeah,
don't
good
drink
luck,
alcohol. I
Quicks,
don't
at the
like when people
Pudgy
spit on
Penguin
my
party.
face.
The Yosa from Colombia is not up on stage, but gracias por venir. Thank you for coming. And we're going to wind it down with some little bubble. Any final talks? Wag D, B Haley, anything? No?
Yeah. I just upgraded the Big Head website. I like governance, and I'm building a DAO voting system into the site right now just because this conversation illuminated things for me.
Oh boy. Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad. I love your project. Kuya shows up, and the Yosa from Colombia is requesting up. But we're gonna play us out. Like I said, gracias por venir. And here's the little bubble, all the small caps, since we're on bear market vibes.
Keep your head strong, you gotta one, another big long, red till down.
Oh, there you guys have it. I will not hold another shit going to all-time low. Make sure you work your bags for you, and good luck. Hasta la próxima semana. See you next week.